So, this is long-awaited Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1 talk. I say long-awaited because it's a show I watched in 2023, but couldn't talk about because I didn't really get it. The lore is extensive and I was watching the sub version, and the only time I had to watch it was during my workouts, so I had to balance working out and watching the show at the same time, with subtitles. It wasn't easy. I knew that I had to talk about the show eventually, so this past week I binged season 1 in order to talk about it. I got it now and I can talk about it. Believe me, I didn't even know the names of the characters aside from Itadori, Gojo, and Todo. Oh, and Sukuna. My will to watch the show again somehow returned. Now I'm fully equipped to talk about season 1. I watched season 2 last year, around August or maybe September, I'm not sure. I will also talk about that eventually. Don't worry. My name is Gibson Shamar from Hikati Media, and I will be talking about what we at Hikati Media thought of the show Jujutsu Kaisen, Season 1. Finally, the video will go as follows. I will talk about the characters, then talk about the show itself. Here we go. So, the first guy to talk about is Yuji Itadori. I used to think that Yuji was short for Yujiro, like Yujiro Hanma, but nope, it's just Yuji. I can live with that. He's a high schooler who was thrust into the world of Jujutsu sorcery when his colleagues were attacked and he decided to protect them, leading to him swallowing the finger of Sukuna, an ancient curse. More on that later. He's an enthusiastic fellow who puts the lives of others before his own and whose whole existence, as of the end of season 1, is simply for other people. He has no goal, no destination or anything. He just wants to help people. It's an admirable sentiment, given that he shouldn't even develop any sort of ambitions since he's on death row. That's right. He's supposed to be killed after ingesting all of Sukuna's fingers. It's a bit sad, but what's anime without some sadness, right? He's a vessel of the most powerful curse of all time, showing that there is some sort of strange potential in him because he gives control of his body and takes it back at will, and has abnormal strength, which even the Jujutsu sorcerers find odd. His primary motivation is to lead people to a good death, which comes from watching his grandfather die with regrets. Next up, Megumi Fushiguro. He is the first Jujutsu sorcerer Itadori meets. He's part of an elite clan called the Zenin clan, or at least he was there before abandoning it. At first I thought he would be the Vegeta to Itadori's Goku, but that's not the case. They have a pretty solid friendship. Megumi is cold and level-headed, but is not above developing grudges. He doesn't let them interfere with the mission, though. This guy takes a common anime trope and flips it around. Almost every anime I've watched where there are these power level things has the main character with some sort of unprecedented power and their close companion who has a similar power level, and it creates debates in the fandom about who is more powerful between the two. I'm guessing this show went about it differently. Megumi has antisocial tendencies. He doesn't really like being around people and is a man of few words. Number 3 is Nobara Kugisaki, or is it Kugisaki Nobara? I really don't know. The annoying thing about having different cultures is that some of them have different ways of naming. Apparently in Japan, the surname comes first and the first name comes last. What makes it bad here is that I don't know which one of them the first name is, so I just call her Nobara. She's a girl who comes from the countryside and wanted to be in the city, fighting curses there and for tourism. She is dedicated to grow and become a great Jujutsu sorcerer and is often dumbfounded by how strong Itadori is, and is often unaware of grander schemes. She's also a very explosive person. She has an explosive personality, always yelling and being overly emotional. She knows how to keep a cool head too, don't get me wrong. What stands out the most though is her temper. Then Gojo Satoru. When you talk about Jujutsu Kaisen, you talk about him. He seems to be the fan favorite of the show. He's a chill guy, immature, laid back, happy, and just really nice to be around. He is the strongest Jujutsu sorcerer of them all and has to keep his eyes covered at all times because the power they exude is extreme. Yeah, it's a typical anime trope to have someone have such an overpowered ability that they have to do something in order to hold themselves back at all times. Yeah, I've been around the block. And he isn't even the only one in this show who's like that. He doesn't get along with his superiors at Jujutsu Tech because he is more pragmatic and accepts change, whereas the elders, his superiors, are stuck in the old ways. He has openly stated that he wishes to defy them and does defy them on what appears to be a regular basis. He also has a tendency for being late for everything, much to the annoyance of his peers. Due to his light-hearted and laid-back nature, most people look at him as a dummy. We've got Maki, a girl who has a twin sister who belongs to the Zenin clan. She uses a staff when fighting and has a very stern look about her. Despite carrying herself like the ultimate class act, she is much more humble than her twin sister, Mei, who, despite being weaker than Maki, looks down upon other people, including her sister. Mai has no use of cursed energy. More on that later. Maki uses it and has gained an advantage over Mei time and time again. There's Todo. He's a really huge guy, huge and powerful. He doesn't like being ordered around and has a lot of admiration for Takada, some sort of idol. He's always trying to go to her shows or her events, even if there's a mission at hand. He may have that playful side, but he is a force to be reckoned with. He is also very fascinated with that mysterious opposite gender and builds friendships based on how his peers perceive that gender. He's an odd guy, but also very welcome comedic relief. Lastly, on the good guy's side, there's Nanami, who is a guy that I almost forgot about. He wears a suit and was a corporate employee because he saw that being a jujutsu sorcerer sucked. Apparently, the corporate world paid better. He is extremely skilled and close to Gojo. He takes his job very seriously and tried the whole I don't care about people, I just want to be left alone thing, and saw that it wasn't quite working out for him because he just couldn't help but exercise curses. More on exorcism later. You could almost feel sorry for him, but at the same time, not really, because despite him being all cool and stuff, he's actually quite a jerk. First on the bad guy bingo card is Jogo. This guy is a curse, and like all curses, wishes to rid the world of humans and have the curses exist as the dominant species. He is unique because he can speak. Apparently, curses don't speak or communicate. Jogo does, though, and is very powerful compared to the usual curse. He is less than half as powerful as Sukuna, but is a handful. He has a very punchable voice, honestly, and because of that, he has a very punchable face. When I think about Jujutsu and whooping, I imagine his face and the whooping that he has to go through due to all the stuff he has pulled. He switches ambitions to focus on bringing Sukuna back, with the logic being that as long as curses become the dominant species, it doesn't matter whether he's alive or dead. However, if you're looking for truly despicable characters, look no further than Mahito. Sheesh, I hate this guy. I hate him a lot. Coop, get here, please. That's nowhere near what this guy deserves. Seriously, he is a curse born from rage and contempt people have for each other. More on that later. He is cunning and manipulative and is described as a baby. Out of all the evil we see in the first season, honestly, Mahito's acts topped the list. He has the power to transmute matter. You thought I was gonna use soul manipulation like he calls it, huh?
Isn't that cute? But it's wrong!
I guess I could, but I won't. Lastly, we have Sukuna. He is the king of curses and clearly the most powerful one of them all, seeing as the show's bad guys want to bring him back. Apparently, all the curses can die, but as long as he lives, the age of curses will rise again. It's weird, but okay. Maybe future seasons will expand on that. Season 2 didn't, but we'll talk about that in the Season 2 video. Sukuna is seen as very proud, very boastful, and unforgiving. He is in total control all the time and is shocked whenever he is not. He finds a way around his lack of control by using brains. Honestly, his status as the main villain of the show is not understated. It makes sense. Curses are scared of him, and he does whatever he wants with them. He also made a pact with Itadori that we don't know the conditions of. Neither does Itadori. He forgot. There are other characters that fill out the cast, but we can only make a video that is so long. We have to keep it moving forward. If they are relevant to what I will say, they will come up. So, the lore of Jujutsu Kaisen and the curses comes up first. Curses are born from negative thoughts and emotions in humanity and gain power through that. As such, it is up to Jujutsu sorcerers to destroy them, or as they like to say, exorcise them. They can do this by casting spells via the use of cursed energy or a good old fashioned butt whooping. What is cursed energy? It's basically chi, ki, or chakra, but in Jujutsu Kaisen terms. Yeah, another thing these anime have is their different names for basically the same thing. In Dragon Ball Z, it's power levels, which they also call ki. In Naruto, it's chakra. In Bleach, it's spiritual pressure. Here, it's cursed energy. We'll roll with it. Cursed energy has multiple uses. It can conjure animals that are used for battle, can create force fields and barriers, and can empower blows and weapons. The show is very well developed and has a lot to offer in terms of action, heartfelt stories, and comedy. The graphics are good and the animation is smooth. However, when I watch it, I feel like it's too familiar. The sound effects, the focus on attacks when they're made, the camera angles when they try to show the scope of the impact, it's something I go like, yeah, I've seen this before and I figured it out. It's because many anime that I watched is produced by the same animation studio. Of course, they'll use the same sound effects and have the same things going on. I even read that they went on strike because they were being overworked and were being given too many projects to work on with little breaks to compensate the schedule. See, this is why your favorite shows take years to come up with new seasons. I don't know why they do that because there isn't a lack of talent in Japan, and I'm sure that there are many capable animation studios. Yes, it's always good to work for the best, but they became the best because they were given opportunities to work. Jujutsu Kaisen is a work of art. It is amazing. I like the way they try to separate the first season into arcs in an atypical way for anime. Usually, an arc is a whole season, but in this show, an arc is like 3 episodes. The longest was the first arc, Itadori's introduction to the Jujutsu sorcerer world. Then we have the bully arc. My gosh, the bully arc. It was deep, it was intense, it was intriguing, and it just ended on a really sour note. I didn't like that the bully survived the arc. I wanted him dead. And Mahito? Man, I really hated him in that arc. That arc was masterfully written. I don't know why, but I really got into Yoshin's story with the bullies. It really illustrated how pointless and senseless bullying itself is. When I saw that he covered his forehead because the bullies would put out cigarettes on it, and it wasn't just because the look was cool, I was dumbfounded. Man, that is not it, Chief. Then, when he wants revenge on the bully, Itadori stops him.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Dude, step out of the way and let the man not be the bigger person in the room. We don't have space for forgiveness here. Seeing the beatdown Mahito got by Nanami and Itadori was the most satisfying thing. I'm sure the writer put that in there so the viewers could get some sort of catharsis. Funny, now that I'm talking about it, I feel like it was all part of the grand design. I also liked how there seems to be some sort of conspiracy with the higher ups in Jujutsu Tech that Gojo is suspecting. I wonder if they create curses on purpose to keep themselves in business. Or maybe they are the ones who are selling out information to the enemy forces so that they know about what's going on. That is what happened in the second last arc of the first season. Someone on the inside is suspected of giving out information on Jujutsu Tech. I suspect the higher ups. Forgive me, gentlemen, ladies. I don't read the manga. I keep myself safe from such things. The suspense is nice. Anyway, my favorite character is Todo. I like how he's very childish but somehow very insightful. He makes me laugh, especially because of how his basis on friendships with people is what kind of girls they like. His obsession with Takara-san is also interesting. The guy hallucinates her, giving him advice in battle. He also comes up with an entire backstory about his friendship with Itadori just because he said that he likes girls like Jennifer Lawrence. Seriously? I know that this was made around 2018 or something, but you missed out on mentioning Sydney Sweeney, yo. She is ultimate. She's got it all. She really does. I could write a poem about that. It would rhyme. I'm curious about what it is about Itadori's parents that his grandfather wanted to tell him. Hopefully that gets revealed too. I also have to say, I find it kind of odd that Sukuna looks like Itadori, even in his own realm. Could there be a meaning behind that? We'll see. Anyway, that's all we have time for in this week's talk. We will get to talking about season 2 soon. I watched it last year and I have to binge it this time again so I can understand it better. I was going through a rough patch in life at around the time I watched this last year. I believe it was the anime I watched before Samurai Champloo. I just couldn't talk about season 2 without talking about season 1. I'm sorry about the shortage of anime talks, but the thing is, the anime I'm watching now is Naruto Shippuden. And as I explained in an earlier video, I watch one episode per day, Monday to Friday. I started Shippuden last year around November, and I'm going to end it next year around September if my calculations are correct. I won't be watching any anime in between that because I have other shows that I watch as well. 2 animations, 1 anime, and 1 live action. That's how I do it, so hang in there. Otakus have a voice here too. Anyway, please check out our Facebook page, our Instagram page, and the rest of our channel for more cool content. Have a good day.